Positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Yo, what up, though, man? You know what it is. It's positive energy and good vibrations as always. Yo, this is RJD, and this is the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Yo, KB, say up to some good people out there, man.
Yo, whoa, yo. You already know who it is. It's your boy KB, representing It's Now or Never and representing these four kings on this Good Here podcast. Coming back for another episode. I'm excited. Felt like I've been missing for a little minute.
Yeah. I'm glad you stated. I'm glad you stated it.
It's been pretty busy, and it's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at it. You understand me?
Yes,
But
sir.
like,
That means there's money being made. That means there's some change happening somewhere.
do you understand me? I just got a call today for an impromptu video shoot for something that we did not too long ago. So,
Oh man, so you know what? Listen, we ain't gonna sit here and belabor the moments at all, man, because we know time is money and we got to make some moves right now. But listen, around here, before we make any kind of moves, there's some things we must do. There's protocol that we must follow, and that is we got to talk to our Father. We are the imperfect fathers, but we got to talk to the most perfect Father. And then after that, we pay our bills around here because we're responsible. We do that on time. You dig? So with that being said, Father, God, we thank you for another week. For real, we thank you for another hour, another second. For real, we thank you for everything that we do have. We understand that life itself is precious and we do not take it for granted. And right now, as we do what we do across the airwaves, we ask you for your grace and your mercy so that we may entertain, inspire, as well as encourage men to be the best version of themselves, for not just themselves, but for their children and generations to come, God. We actually do these things and we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
amen.
Yes, indeedy. So, you know what we do next? Paying bills. Guess what? Now, one of the people that pay bills around here is the guy sitting to the right left of me. I'm sorry. There you go. Left of me. The guy over at Now and Never Entertainment. Listen, for all your music needs, whether it be hip hop, gospel, R&B, neo soul, even honky tonk. I put it in there last week. Check the tape, KB. I said honky tonk last week. But anyway,
Bro,
all your music needs.
I'm just not doing it. Like
He say he ain't doing the honky tonk, but listen, any other genre, he got you. He can hold it down for you. Listen, for all your music needs, hip hop, R&B, like I said, gospel, everything else, he can do it for you. All you people that do the reels and do have music behind your projects, listen, holla at that man. He will definitely give you a great deal. And I got something even better for you. If you use the word imperfect, he will give you 50% off, 50% off on any beat in the beat store. So go over there right now and check it out. It's Now or Never _ENT. Check them out. Now, listen, another paid sponsor of our beautiful podcast. I am wearing some apparel from that place. And I'm also sitting in front of some of the things that place creates. And that place is called Cassie's Classic Design. So for all your printing needs, whether it be shirts, hats, mugs, t-shirts, drawers, you name it, she can print it. So for all your print needs, holla at Cassie's Classic Designs. If you want to hit her on Gmail, that's Cassie's Classics Designs at gmail.com. And if you want to hit on Instagram like everyone else, it's Cassie's _classic _design. Normally in this space of the game, I'd be saying, yo, TR, do your job. And to be honest, the actual topic of today's episode was picked by TR. And while me and KB was in the back and we were speaking about this in the green room about things that blessings to you, Queen. We appreciate you. Much love.
take the love.
Yes, indeed. While we was in the back in the green room talking, we was like, well, we ain't got that much to talk on said topic, which is porn, right? So I know everybody's looking at probably seeing the little commercial that pops up on your phone we're talking about porn tonight. Well, the person who wanted to talk about porn is not here on the platform, so we won't be talking about porn tonight. Right now, we're actually going to just dive into just us being men, man, what's going on in our lives right now and what's going on in the world. I feel like this is opportune moment for us to do a little checkup. You know what I'm saying? This is episode, I believe it is 19 of the relaunch.
My.
Listen, man, we moving on up like George and Wheezy, and I'm really appreciative of what we got going on, man. So I just wanted to check in, man, like to see where you at right now, what you got going on, King.
Well, it's a lot, bro, to be honest with you. And at one point in my life, I I've always been busy,
Mm-hmm.
but it's been like that busy and barren. You know what I'm saying? Like
Ooh.
I've been busy and doing all of this and doing all that, but there was no fruit behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Now I feel like, all those seeds that I planted then, it's basically coming, and I could go outside and pick from the fruit and eat. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, and I'm still busy, but I'm reaping the monetary repercussions of my work. You understand me?
It sounds to me that you found out that being busy is nothing but productivity is everything.
Man, listen, and it kind of goes back to that whole how all this whole podcast thing started. You got to start now with what you have.
Right.
um
Right.
a lot of the times I was just thinking, okay, I'm not going to start now because I don't have everything in a row. In my mind, everything has to be perfect for me to get to that point. I have to have this sound, I have to have that sound. um I have to have this lineup, this camera, this microphone,
Right.
this interface before I can make this happen. And I just found out you just got to use what you got. They're gonna come. You got to
Yo,
start with what you got.
yo, KB, we got somebody in the comments acting a fool today. I see somebody gonna make us laugh tonight. Yo, Queen Williams says, as long as it's not strange fruit.
Listen, listen.
Wink, wink. You hear me? No, no, no. We don't know that strange fruit, but not over here.
It
Not
ain't
around these parts.
that. Nah, I don't even like fruity drinks. Um,
I feel you on that one, King. I feel you on that one. Oh man, but that's dope though, bro. Because what happened for me this week right here was I think was groundbreaking. And I actually had a moment to actually record it. One of my guys, and anybody who's been following me, right, who's been like paying attention to my journey knows that I just recently transitioned from a 9 to 5 to running my own business as a coach. And one of my guys actually had a breakthrough, like, and I mean a phenomenal breakthrough, like to the point where just thinking about the conversation gives me goosebumps. Like he was so excited to call me. He texted me the day before our meeting, and he was like, "Yo, RJ, I got something to tell you, but I know I want to wait till our meeting." So I was like, "All right, no, like just do whatever you want to do. If you want to tell me now, tell me now, or tell me then." He's like, "No, it's exciting enough to hold off and let you know when I see you."
Dang.
Uh,
I'd
so
have been
we
mad at him. Like, how you gonna call me and tell me you got something to tell me just to tell me you can't tell me?
Nah, you ain't lying about that, boy. In a way, I was kind of like no. Let me tell you the whole story. See, he's in a different time zone, so it's like he thought he was texting me at like 9 p.m. his time, and over here it's like 12 p.m. So I got that. I was like, oh, he ain't dead. All right, good. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Young King if you're watching. I appreciate you. But what happened was I realized that everything that I was questioning, right? Everything that I was quote unquote having imposter syndrome about was actually showing, like you said, the fruit, man, the fruit of the work, the fruit of the labor, and actually seeing it in real time. You know what I'm saying? Like I've helped. Let me look at my wall. I got about 9 men that I say I've helped, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm continuing to help right now currently, but it's something about his breakthrough just then that did something that reminded me, like, yo, everything that I was doubting, everything that I thought to myself, like, yo, you're bugging, because like it's been a few weeks when my calendar was blank. I'm gonna keep it a stack. It's been a few weeks that my calendar was blank, and I'm talking about have nothing on it, and like it's time to like bring some income in this house, and there's nothing to show for it. But the truth of the matter is, if I stay with it like I did and continue to, the fruits are starting to show themselves. Like they're starting to blossom on that branch, and I'm grateful because let me tell you, just not even so much the income, it's the impact. Right, we spoke about before a few weeks ago, bro. Just to see where he is and how his the light in his eyes is brightened. You know what I'm saying? Like just even his skin complexion looks brighter. It's crazy because when you go from where you are and you don't think you can go any further and you break through that little barrier and realize like the world is really opened up to you, that's when you really realize like can't nobody stop you, man.
Fact though. I mean, I like to think of it as fuel. Like
Mm-hmm.
these little type of things, like for real, when we first get started, we we running. We excited, and we going for a couple of weeks or months, and then next thing you know, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing right now?
Right.
And then God would send us that hint that, here, take this fuel right quick. You're not an imposter. You've been doing this. This is what I put you on earth to do. And now here's a little fuel so you can make it to that next check mark. You understand me?
Right.
So
Right.
congratulations on that, King. That's huge.
Appreciate you, man. And I'm just grateful because like that I didn't give up. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like I can almost pinpoint the days. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was like, man, listen, what Indeed.com can I go back to where I just came from? You know what I mean? But once I actually realized and I think things through and I realize the impact that I'm making, man, it's like no way I can go back. There's no way. And
That's
especially now seeing the fruit, there's no way possible.
Man, it's kind of like, so I was going through some of my old hard drive, and I ran across some of the things that I started in Reasons, and I haven't been on Reasons for a minute.
Yeah.
And Reason is a DAW, digital audio workstation. Is what we use to make music. So I went back and I'm looking back to 2011. I'm finding things way back then, and I'm like, dang, I've been at this for like 10 years now in terms of like making beats and stuff. And the whole time I was in Florida, I might have had 3 people to jump on, maybe 4 to jump on a beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm making all these beats, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and I move out here to Ohio, and my phone just don't stop ringing. Like, there is no off day when it comes to it. Like, the only off day I have from the music is when I got my baby girl. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's been on and on and on. And I'm like, I thank God for it, because at some point, like, I was like, yo, I'm never giving up on music because it's really and truly my passion. I could play at the church, and you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm that close to the music, and I'm good with that. If I never make another beat, I might be okay, even though it is part of my passion. But I got up here and people, I make a beat and, oh, that's the one I need. Don't even change that one. Like, just let's go right up on that one. Like, they daring, and then just taking off with it, shooting videos to them. Like, I'm like, sometimes it takes you getting out that comfort zone.
Absolutely. Yo, our queen is in the comments. She said savage mentalities are limiting, gentlemen. Fate and destiny left your calendar open for a reason. Now you are learning what it means to be a barbarian at the gate. Listen, Queen, I am truly learning that. Absolutely. And she goes right under it. It's an old school term. Absolutely. I love your soul, too, because it reminds me of an old spirit. Thank you so much for actually joining us tonight. And absolutely, I'm and to people on Clubhouse, and also to our listeners that's going to check us out on Apple and Spotify and everywhere else. I'm actually reading comments from the people who are joining us in the at the live right now. So if you're wondering where we get this comments from, that's where it's coming from. But thank you once again for your comment, Queen. To be honest, I'm learning to let things happen the way they're supposed to, because I realize as I do a lot of introspection and a lot of looking back over my life that every time I've tried to make something happen on my own, it's failed. Right. And every time that I've had something happen to me that was ordained and I had nothing to do with, it's been some of the best things in my life. So only thing I'm doing and I've learned to do now is control the controllables. Right. I wake up, I make my bed, I do my necessary due diligence of my everyday and whatever. And like the one thing now I've learned to pray for is the awareness. Right. Because I want to be aware of everything happening, because that's where the learning is. That's where the information is at. That's where success is at.
The old folks will call it discernment.
Oh, now you're talking good, son.
Call it discernment. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to tell you.
But let me ask you this: what's the difference between forcing something and hitting a roadblock and having to push through?
Boy, I almost put my deuce out. Hold on now. That question was phenomenal. Say it one more time.
What's the difference between forcing something and hitting a roadblock and having to push through?
All right, phenomenal question. I'm glad you asked that. For me, I think that forcing something or trying to make something happen that's not supposed to, it's tiring, right? And there's no end. There's like you're giving it everything you got, and there's no give. There's no sign of anything changing, and you're still just going against it. You're still just doing the same thing. Whereby if it's a roadblock or a barrier, let's think about what that is. A roadblock or a barrier means that it's blocking and it's a barrier. That means there's a way to go around it, right? Or there's a way to get over it. So when you're getting over or through something, you found a way out, right? You let yourself think. You calm down. And you had a thought process about it. When you're forcing something, you're not thinking. You're just going. You're just going. You're moving in haste, as you spoke about earlier. Right now, you're moving with more control because you know what you're moving after now. You're not just busy, right? You're productive now. So it's the same thing. It's if I'm forcing something, I'm not thinking about it. I'm doing everything I possibly can to in haste to make it happen. Whereby if it's a barrier, something that's stopping me, I can think about this. I can't go through this. It's too hard to go through. I can't get over it. It might be too high. But you know what? If I go back a little further, a few steps, I might be able to go around this and get to my destiny. You see what I'm saying? Like I think that's the difference for me. I don't know if I answered that question good enough for you, King.
Nah, it was a good answer. I just wanted to pose the question because I think a lot of the times we give up too easily on what we think, is just what's a roadblock or an obstacle. And so I wanted a clean answer, a decisive answer as to what's being forced and what's being blocked. Now,
all right now, she called us beautiful now. She said both of you beautiful brothers are living through your period of enlightenment. Come on now, Queen.
I appreciate you.
God bless you. Like, let me tell you something. See, I'm operating my full confidence as a man, right? So one thing I've learned is that as when you're a confident individual, you can receive compliments openly and wholeheartedly and receive them wonderfully. So therefore, this woman called me beautiful. I appreciate that. I'm putting that in my emotional tank, right? I'm putting that in my reservoir. So the days I don't feel beautiful, I'm gonna think back to Queen Williams. I can't say her first name. I don't want to tear it up. Queen Williams told me that I was a beautiful brother. Bam! There I go again, right back to it. So Queen, let me tell you, we appreciate you. And absolutely, we are definitely living through that enlightenment period right now. And it's a phenomenal event. To tell you the truth, right now in my life, it's a phenomenal time.
I can't even disagree with that at all. And you know what? I speak that I'm beautiful. Like, I know I'm a beautiful being. Like,
yes, indeed.
I'm
this melanin skin.
Like I'm made in God's own image.
Come on now, don't listen to me.
You understand?
When I was young, they called me vain, right? Right now that I've learned when I was younger, they told me a lot of things, right? They called me arrogant, they called me cocky, vain, they called me all those things. See, but what they didn't realize, KB, I was saying those things and I was acting the way I was acting so I could make myself believe it. I wasn't trying to put my energy off on no one else. I was just trying to build myself up. But see, the more older I got, right, and the work that I've done later on, it only told me one thing, is that when my confidence met some of those insecurities, they can only call it cockiness, KB. So while I'm trying to build myself up from all the torment and hell that I've been through as a kid, calling frail body, bird chest, and all kinds of other names that I couldn't control because of my stature, right?
Right.
I've been called out of my name from a child growing up. So these are things I had to build myself on. So I got in the world and I'm trying to tell myself, yo, you are beautiful. You're gorgeous. And I'm doing the things that remind myself of it. And then I'm being called cocky. I'm being called arrogant. And at a point in my life, that actually deterred me. That actually stopped me for a little while.
Call me what you want to, just not call me late for the money.
Talk to me now.
I could buy my own dinner. I don't need to be called to dinner. Just don't call me late to this money. You
Talk to me nice. You hear me? Listen, because honest to God, bro, like I was thinking about the other day. I was like, yo, people don't realize, like, yo, we go out of our way to try to pull somebody down when they get where they want to be, or they pat themselves on the back, or somebody giving somebody accolades. We're so quick to try to pull on them. You dig what I'm saying? We're so quick to try to, like, oh, look at them. They think they somebody. Yo, you don't understand that person could be holding on to that one achievement, and that's keeping them from blowing their own brains out. Do you understand? Like, We don't know what someone else is dealing with, yo. We get so we so quick to judge and point fingers and be so critical. But do you know the person who probably told you you ain't shit before they seen you probably lost their mama? Do you know the person that in the grocery store that looks like they tears running down their eyes just found out some of the worst news of their life, and you mad because they cut you off on the line? We gotta get out our own way sometime, man, and realize that people are humans and going through some things out here, man.
It's a fact. One thing I learned is, sometimes you just gotta take the L today so you can get the win tomorrow. Like sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, like this person skip you in line or whatever. You honestly don't know where they're going. You're not even in no rush. Ain't no point for you to say nothing like that. F it. You got to go somewhere before I got to get there. That's my mindset sometimes. Now, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, like the whole old high head me, rear his head, and I might say something, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I just got to that point now where I'm secure in myself. Like, I don't need to argue with you.
Right. I want to argue?
You, man. Big man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's my song of the year. You want to argue? I don't want to argue with you. And like, to be honest, I want to touch that point too, because I've learned more so now is that my not responding is more powerful than anything I have to say, especially when I'm upset. Right? Like I've learned that my ignorance of what they're saying is enough. Like, oh, what did you say? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what you just said, right? Like, and I'm to the place where now my life is like I'm comfortable in my own skin because I'm living my life now. Where before I was trying to live for someone else, I was trying to get the approval of someone else. And let me tell you something, and this is to all the fathers out there, and the men who are about to become fathers. Find out and figure out who you are, so your son does not have to question and search for validation in this world. Why? I'm speaking from a position of my life experience. For a very long time, I searched this earth for validation. Believe me, in ways that was healthy for me and a lot more ways unhealthy for me. I've bled on women. I've done a lot of things that actually just all out. In honesty, I was just searching for validation. So guess what? If I was simply just shown who I was, right? What I was made about and what my future looked like by actually seeing the individual called the father in front of me, guess what? I wouldn't have been searching for validation in other places. I would have been already validated in the certain spaces of my life that I was looking for it.
What about those young kings who, didn't have a father in the household like you and I? And what do you tell them for the cheat code before they get in their 30s or before they get to our age? What's the cheat code to skip that whole validation thing and get to where you are or where we are in terms of that validation, in terms of this mindset to get there? Like, so you're the coach. So tell me, what's the cheat code?
All right. First and foremost, the cheat code is coaching. I'm not saying that because that's my profession. And I can say that now confidently because I've paid for coaching and I know what it's done for me in my business. So number one, first and foremost, find a coach. It doesn't have to be me. Find a coach that can help you in the space that you're in, that you're looking to move forward in. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I love
number two, to be honest, just have an open mind. Don't be closed-minded. I know that's hard because when you only know what you know, but don't be so closed into what you know, right? Because if I would have listened a little more early in life, a lot of things that I know now, I heard before. I just didn't apply, right? And that's the truth. Like there's nothing new under the sun. Had I just applied some of the things that I heard, right, and actually seen in other places, examples, I might have had different results. But the truth is, the cheat code is literally just having an open mind. Yes, you might come from the streets. Yes, you might be in a place where you're just living to survive. And me and KB can tell you, we've been there. But the thing is, if you just pay attention and open your eyes, especially in 2021, do you know how much money is on the internet? I can't even believe it. It makes my head go gray just thinking about it. It is so much money on this internet in so many different capacities. Like we're talking about from car rentals, Airbnbs, forex trading, coaching, online teaching,
online music.
And And yo, KB, speak to that point because people don't realize there's many lanes to get paid on your music in the music game. We ain't just talking about you ain't gotta write for Beyonce, you ain't gotta have Jay-Z spitting on your tracks. You can have your music in all kinds of places and getting paid for it.
Man, you could. My goal right now is to get to the point where my music has replaced my income. I love what I do in terms of being an insurance agent. Absolutely love it because I get to help people set up for what could be possibly the worst day of their lives. And I help educate. I'm an educator by nature. So you call my line, I'm not just trying to sell you an insurance policy. I'm letting you know why this is important, why this is that, why this is that. So I love what I do, but my passion is truly music. So once I have that replace my income and I'm able to move the way I do, where I could wake up and just do music and all that good stuff, and setting everything up, such as my beat store, where I have leases and stuff like that. I could just literally put up a beat that I made a year ago and have that leased to 10 different people. And that's now becoming residual income because I just made that beat once a year ago, and it's continuously getting me money. So I mean, and that's right online. I did the work once, and I'm continuing to see the benefits of my work, of my labor. So it's just tons of ways. And I was having a conversation with a friend via text the other day, and I was like, and she was like, she's going through, she's unhappy, and I'm like, what is it that you love to do? Find out whatever it is that you love to do, and find out how to monetize it.
Period.
It honestly doesn't get more simpler than that.
Now check this out. And to your question, right, about what's the cheat code to get where we at mentality wise right now to the young kings. Listen, we just finished telling you, it doesn't matter where you are, right? If this was the 90s, and let me tell you how I heard something that was mad disrespectful today. And all of our listeners, you probably can attest to this. I heard someone say that, oh, you was born in the 1900s. And I felt some kind of way about it. Let me know if you feel any kind of way when I just said that statement. Somebody said, yeah, you was born in the 1900s. I said, so what you trying to say, nigga? What is you trying to say? Because at this point in time, you're really saying it doesn't matter if I was born in 1901 or 1999. I was still born in the 1900s.
Bruh, put it this way. When I seen it earlier, this a meme. There was like, shoot, anybody born in the 2000s, checking ID just got so easier because if you born in the 2000s now, you good. All I got to do is check your year and hand it right back to you. You're good because you've been more 21 years older.
Facts. Anybody or 19, anything in their birthday is like,
it's good.
Go ahead, bro. Just go ahead.
2000 you got a free pass. You on here. Like, I'm like, yikes, yo. That's when we up here. Like,
yo, listen, man. But no, I gotta digress. But I digress with that. But the only thing I wanted to say to the cheat code was that for real, just listen, man. There's so many outlets, not just us on this talking at you or to you, however you feel. But there's also so many different podcasts and sources of information on YouTube and everywhere else that is just pouring out, right? People are just pouring out, giving information. So in all honesty, there's no excuse no more. Like, period. Put it like this. If you have any access to the internet, there's no excuse. Like, open up that mindset. Do something different from what you're doing. And that's what I had to learn myself. I had to learn that transitioning from New York to Florida. I came to Florida thinking I can do the same thing I did in New York and it's gonna rock. And I was gonna get a different outcome. I was gonna come down here doing the same exact nonsense I was doing in New York and get a different outcome. Didn't work that way. I had to switch it up a little bit, right? I had to figure some things out. And let me tell y'all, and I said this before, and check the tapes on this one, but I'm gonna say it again. If whoever didn't take COVID as the time to sit down and do some real looking at your life and some really evaluating about what's going on with you and who you are, shame on you. Shame on you. Real rap. because the whole world had to sit down. It wasn't just
Well,
you.
slow down, gave you a chance.
Because we think about this, KB. It's crazy because that was a year ago, right? And let's time travel back before that time. You heard a massive cry out in the world, like, "Oh my God, I just need some time away. I just need some time just to stop running around and going back and forth." You heard this massive cry for just time to relax and chill and just be home. We had a whole year. So yes, wholeheartedly, I can say shame on you if you didn't take this time to really at least better your mindset.
That's a whole fact.
And let me tell
It
you,
ain't
bro,
too,
I got bad news again today.
it ain't too late.
Oh no, it ain't. It definitely ain't too late if you're still breathing. And that was a great segue into my next statement. I got some more bad news today, man. I spoke about it last week about a gentleman that took his life. This week, another one of our young kings took his life. I just heard from my wife, young one. I believe she said he's 24 years old. Listen, y'all, we said it last week.
Real, man.
And check the tape, please. Me and Troy, last week's episode, we gave information about hotlines, online services, and different things of that nature to help. And as a matter of fact, I have one of the numbers right now. I'm gonna flash across the screen. It's the National Help Lifeline, and it's 1-800-273-8255. Now, listen. Granted, if you don't want to reach out to me, it's all good. I understand. But listen, reach out to that hotline. There's people set up to help. There's no reason why we are losing men to killing themselves out here in these streets. Fellas, let's stop crying on the inside. Let's stop suffering in silence and open up our mouths, man.
Facts.
Like, I'm starting to feel like our pride and our ego is killing us more than the police is at this point. And that's saying something. Sadly.
I ain't gonna hold you because I could speak on this because I'm one to internalize everything and work it out on my own. Thank God that it never got to the point where I ever thought of taking my own life or anything of that nature. But I think that I would be further along in life if I decided to open my mouth and talk to somebody about it. So it's just now at the age of 36, 37 years old that I'm letting people in, that I'm talking about my past hurts, that I'm talking about what's currently hurting, that I'm saying, hey, this right here caused me pain. And when I talk about it, it absolutely feels better. Even if that person is not offering any kind of advice, as I'm speaking it out loud, I feel and certain things just start coming to me. Okay, maybe we could try this, maybe we could try that. And it's only because I'm speaking it out loud. So sometimes you just need to be heard. Sometimes you just need to audibly say it and then have it come back to your own ear and seek help. There's help out there, like this national line that's here. And there's, if you don't have it, if you got a job, there's the EAP program.
Yes, definitely.
Reach out. Like, there's ways out, and there's people who you reach out to a professional and tell them what you're going through. Hopefully they could point you in the right direction, or do something. They have certain people who do pro bono work on right. So it's help out here, man. I don't care. Stop at a bus stop and start talking to a stranger. I don't care what it is. Go to church. Somebody at the church house is going to be willing to listen to you. They might give you a biblical advice that you may not
listen. You might not want it, but you'll get an ear to hear though. Like that right there. Sometimes all we really want, right, KB? Man, like that's all we really want is an ear to hear us.
Listen, stop and talk to the older person. I don't care where you find that older person at, but they oozing with wisdom. Like, there's no reason on earth why. I think we take advantage of I don't even want to say old, but our wise people,
right?
Wise and experienced people in age. Like,
indeed,
there's no reason on earth why they should be leaving the earth and not being able to.
Oh, our queen hit a note on this one, boy. She said Black churches and pastors have to be reestablished. The community outreach infrastructure to help our young and old. Absolutely. And it's so funny that's even a statement right now, because right before this, I was listening to a gentleman talk about how our major churches have been paid off through a loophole and one of the legislations, right? So now all our mega churches cannot speak on a lot of our black issues. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I never thought about that.
I think when they take on the nonprofit tag, that there's certain things that they cannot necessarily talk about in terms of
Right.
501c3 or 3C, whichever one it is. But I it's hard because I know you want that tax exemption as a church and all that good stuff, but if they're stifling what needs to be heard, is it really?
Oh, and we appreciate you. Absolutely. Oh, she got facts going on right now. Absolutely, exactly in 2001. Indeed, in the Bush administration. And let me tell you, I was just watching this video before this episode. That's a fact. I was just watching what she's speaking about. And it's so crazy because when you think about it, it's like everything from Black Lives Matter, you don't see none of the churches getting involved in none of it. You don't see anything happening with the churches. And I'm not here to point fingers, because at the end of the day, I tell everybody, the church is flawed because people are flawed, period. The body of Christ is what we should be talking about, right? That's different. Now, the church, okay, I'm cool with that. But when it comes down to the structure and all that, like, get it. It's flawed because people are flawed. But when it comes down to what are we standing on and how it operates, it's like, oh, okay. Now you find where the money resides. You find where the truth resides.
And I don't want to necessarily point it at the church either.
Right.
Because the church is just a building.
Right. That's it.
We are the church.
Facts.
So if you see something and you're part of a church and you see something in the church that's not being done, God showed you that. So you bring it up. You take it to your... I never in my history have I taken something that's positive to my pastors or a minister and they was like, no, shut that down, don't do it.
Right.
They was like, how can I help you? How
Right.
can we get this off the ground? It came to you for a reason. Do your research and present it to the church. So now you have something that you could do, and you're the outreach, and you're doing this. A lot of times we place the blame on the church way too much.
Now, listen,
Way too much.
I'm not even in the game of life to point blame of nobody no more, because
Facts.
for real, my grandmother used saying that statement used to tickle me back in the day. You pointing one thing, you got four looking back at you, but it don't tickle me no more. It's a reality check, because every single time that I even have an opportunity, right, to cast judgment or point my finger at someone, I think to myself, oh, what did I do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't be pointing this finger. I shouldn't be judging someone else, because like I said earlier in the podcast, yo, bro, we don't know. We don't know what somebody paid for to get to where they are. We don't know what somebody's going through to get through what they are. And that in itself, for me, bro, is a reminder constantly, yo, listen, just live your life the best you possibly can, and give somebody else the grace and space that you want.
There you go. I was just getting ready to say that whole grace thing. When you in your lane, you traveling on grace.
Right.
See, a lot of times we try to infiltrate or get in somebody else's lane, and we try to figure out what they doing, and we trying to do it as big as they doing it, but we just don't have that same grace or that same work ethic to do something that they're passionate about. You have no passion in this. You just see them doing it and they successful at it, and you want in,
bro.
They
and you don't know what it costs.
You don't. You got to count up them costs.
And let me tell you, if you really knew half of the thing that the person that you're jealous about or envious on about what they had, if you knew what it really cost them, right, to have said thing, you would think it's too expensive. You would be like, I'm not paying for that. I'm not going to go through that to have that. You don't know. You just see things, the materialistic things, and think to yourself, oh, they got it together. How do I know? I was him. And I'm still him at times. I catch myself. Like, no, let me get back in your lane. Focus on what you're doing. Doesn't matter what's happening to your left, to the right of you. Focus. Your focus is forward. I just had a statement with a gentleman on this week, and the analogy of the car and in the window. Like they give you this entire windshield, right, to look forward, but they only give you a small piece of glass to look behind you. So what does that mean? That means you should be focused on the road ahead of you and only glimpsing back at your past. You shouldn't be worried about what's going on behind you, because it doesn't matter what's going on behind you. It's what's in front of you. Come on now. It's what's in front of you that's really important. You see what I'm saying? Because think about this. If they gave you a rearview mirror that's as big as the front mirror, what would happen? You'd find yourself focusing on the cars behind you, and you'll wreck.
You'll be a Floridian. That's what you would be.
yo, for everybody who's been in Florida, who's driven in Florida, who's a Floridian, you know what that shot was from, and that was from a fellow Floridian. So deal with it.
I mean, like, I know us. Us is no good. Like,
yo, let me tell y'all. See, I'm from New York, so we wild out on the roads. We get crazy. But I've never seen this type of driving until I came to South Florida, where the roads will have 4 lanes of traffic, right, going in one direction. So that means you have 2 lanes going straight. You have one that's making the right, and you have one that's making the left. I've seen on repeat, I might add, on a daily basis, a man or woman go from the left lane and make a complete right at that corner. Yes, I mean, be in the left lane and make a complete right from the left lane.
With that signal light on left.
Yes, with the signal light telling you they're going left in the left lane, but making the right, and vice versa. So this is what happens down here in South Florida. If people were wondering, or they need a little enlightenment of how the drivers partake there around down here in South Florida.
It gets bad.
Yo, but for real though, man, like I'm just grateful right now, KB, because where we are is not where we want to be, right?
Nowhere near.
And we know that. And that's the best part of life. Like, because shoot, if this was the end of the road right here, I'd be like, yo, this ride was whack. You know what I mean? Like, I know there's so much more to come. But just to look back for a second, right? And just think back, like, yo, I am not where I was.
Nowhere near.
Nowhere near. And that right there is a celebration right there. Like, and I tell all my guys I'm coaching now, it's like, yo, the best thing you can do for yourself and your confidence is celebrate the small wins, right? And don't even call them small wins. Just celebrate the wins in period, in general. Like, you woke up this morning, that's a celebration factor, bro. You got activity of all your limbs, you should be celebrating.
Facts. If I win by 0.1, I won.
Listen.
You can't tell me no different.
Period. And all we got to do to win is just show up. And that's right there. I think that we get and we get so caught up in translation and misinformation happens because we think we got to do so much. If we just show up for ourselves, man, the difference you'll make in your own life. I'm telling you, like it'll be a phenomenal difference. And why do I'm saying this? I know you probably say we know RJ's experience, but I'm telling y'all, if I can just open up my life into a movie for a show you, just to show you, like, yo, just about 2.5 years ago, I was willing to say, listen, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna give up. I'm just gonna go just live on the system. I don't know what else to do.
I remember, and I don't know if you ever told the story, but after we met, your ass got missing for a little bit.
Word.
I think what you was up in VA or something like that, or on some dumb stuff. Like,
yeah, I made some choices, man, because I thought to myself that I couldn't make it happen the right way down here. I got to revert, right? And this is what I want to tell every young king out there that's trying, right? That's trying right now and feels like he's banging his head and he can't make no headway. Keep banging your head the right way. Keep banging your head the right way. Don't revert. Don't go backwards. And let me tell you, the best thing that happened to me in that experience, me going backwards, was me getting myself almost caught and killed. That was the best thing in life that happened to me. Because it set me back on the path of saying, you know what? Even if I don't get it right the right way, I'm going to still keep trying, because the wrong way almost killed me.
Facts. Major facts.
And there's not something that I'm looking at like, oh, well, guess what? I made it through that and it was nothing. No, listen, when I tell you I almost lost my life, I almost lost my life. for making the wrong decision, to try to go revert backwards to the things that I thought that was going to help me move forward. So, like I said, Young King, if you are struggling, keep struggling, because this struggle is worth it. The right struggle is worth it.
I, something I've learned within probably the last year or so is enjoying the journey.
Mm.
And
Mm-mm-mm.
it's tough sometimes. And I forgot who I heard it from, and it might have been a ball player, but they was like, you know what? I think I enjoyed the journey more than my arrival.
Wow.
So they was like they going through putting in the work and get bumping your head and being told no, being turned down, being rejected, all this good stuff. Like you enjoy that journey.
Right.
Enjoy having to grind so hard. Enjoy all of that, because that is giving you the calluses, the tough skin that you need to be able to endure. Because if you got if you don't hit them walls, if you don't grow that tough skin, when you get there and something happens, you'll lose it all.
Right.
Because and if you do get it quick and something happens and you so happen to lose it,
Won't be able to get it
you
back.
may exactly, man. But if you grind, you know what it takes to get there. One, hopefully you know what not to do to and be able to maintain. But just like we had our brother on the podcast who said he made it
Right.
millions, messed around and lost it
Lost.
all. And
Lost.
because of the work that he put in, his work ethic, he was able to gain it right back.
And that's the key factor, bro. Understanding yourself and understanding what you've been through. And this is what I've been saying back for the last few weeks. And I made a video, but I'm gonna make another one this week coming about it, about our receipts in life, right? See, excuse me. We'll look at things we're going through right now in our lives and we'll be like, oh, this is so difficult. We'll question how we're gonna get through it. We'll have all these emotions that we'll go through, right? And I look at it as now, we only go through that because we lost our receipts about the last thing we've been through. If you remember that one thing 5 to 10 years ago, even last year, oh my God, how am I going to get through this? And then I know this might touch a nerve to a lot of people out there listening to us. This time last year, when you lost your job and you thought to yourself, how the hell am I going to make it? I got these bills. I got this car. I got my kids. I got my family. How am I going to get through it? Now, here you are now. Look at you. Look around. Wherever you are right now, listen to this podcast. Stop where you are and look around. I can guarantee you, you are not where you thought you would be. But you are better than you thought you would be. So that right there, my friend, is your receipt. We got to start remembering the things that we've been through that we thought we wouldn't make it. And this is why God is so good with time, right? But at the same time, he kind of spares us a little bit of the goodness, because check this out. If there was no time, we have headaches forever. It suck, right? If there was no time, pain would last forever. But because of the grace of time, it leaves our mind and it eases away and it goes into that sea of forgetfulness, right? But guess what? If you tap back into that memory to where you was and what you've been through, you realize, I'm tougher than this thing I'm currently looking at. I'm stronger than this circumstance that's currently facing me right now. I've been through worse. And here I am. So this current situation and circumstance is really nothing but another test. That's all it truly is. So we got to make sure, man, stop losing your receipts on your past circumstances out there. Remember what you've been through, because I'm telling you, what you're going through is nothing compared. And we keep that same mindset of every time we go through something and get through something, imagine what we'll be next year this time.
I honestly think that, like you're saying, in terms of the receipts, that we really need to, as Black men, start journaling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We really need to start writing these stuff down, because we got a story to tell. And if we decide that we're going to do it now, because, man, and I'm about to scope shift a little bit, Kanye West started, he hired a videographer to follow him everywhere he went from the time he first got signed.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that because he did that, they just sold the rights to it, and that's what catapulted him into the billionaire status. Like,
yes,
we have to begin to start documentation.
right.
We have to document what we're going through. We have to journal everything. And I said that to say this: it's never as bad as we think it is.
Facts.
So if you're facing something right now, your mind has this thing that is going to play with you, and you're going to think it's 90 times worse than what is going to actually be. If you really think back on all the times that you was going through these hard times, and whatever that worst case scenario that popped into your head, it probably never took place.
Right.
So it's never as bad as you think it is.
Yo, KB.
Through it.
Yo, KB, think about that for a second, right? All of our greatest fears that we really fearful of, we don't have any supporting data on. Like, yo, let's think about that for a quick second before we get up out of here. Like, yo, the things that we're fearful of, like, we don't have no supporting data to why we're fearful of it. Like, we just create these whirlwind of thoughts that take us for this ride. And in actuality, we end up looking crazy. And I said it last week on the podcast when I was in my rant, but I'm going to say it again this week. Now I'm in a cooler head. Take care of your insecurities before they make a fool of you.
Bro, that was going one of my what I was going to touch on my closing statement, which we're kind of coming on.
Yeah. We're coming down to the last test, so we might as well get into it right now. Okay, go ahead.
What I was going to say is, Kings, look in the mirror. Be truthful to yourself. What you don't like, do something about. Do not push it off. Work on you. If you don't like the way you look, get your ass up and get to the gym. Get your ass up, walk around the block. If you don't like the way you think, read different books. Listen to different people. If you don't like the way that you're, well, I ain't gonna say nothing physical, because if you ugly, you just ugly. Wait, I'm lying. I just thought about it. Jay-Z said he ain't never seen an ugly billionaire. So
there you go. I'm cute. Yo, listen, so if you feel like you ugly, go out there and get your bag right.
You feel me?
Yo, man, listen, this has been one of those episodes that we really didn't have anything planned. The plan of the episode didn't come through. But it's one of those things that I feel like we've hit on some phenomenal topics and we've left some real value on the table. And our queen has been going crazy in our comments. Yeah, I really appreciate you, Queen. I'm going to reach out to you. As a matter of fact, we might actually bring you on the platform because you got some tools over here. She said insecurity are valuable tools. Yes, they are, if they're addressed. If they're addressed, like if you use them.
I want to hear her spiel on it. So reach out to her. We might.
Yes, absolutely. Your Queen, we're gonna get
on next week. What you call again?
Right. She just segues. She definitely segues it next week. We're gonna talk about those insecurities and how they're the tools, right? That's what we're gonna do next week, y'all. So you guys have already heard that next week we already have the topic. So we will be talking about our insecurities next week and how they are tools.
Valuable tools
at that.
That's tools. Valuable
tools.
I definitely want to hear your point of view on that, Queen.
Absolutely. And guys, listen. For everybody who's been chilling with us, man, and everybody on Clubhouse, we got a few people chilling with us in and out of the room right now. To Hope, Suzanne, and Natasha, thank you so much, Queens, for hanging out with us today. We greatly appreciate it. And everyone else, Queen Williams over on Facebook, and everyone else that's coming in and out of the doors, we appreciate every last one of you. And all of our audio listeners that catch us either on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you may catch us at, we are grateful for you, as well as on YouTube. Thank you so much, because we are doing this because we understand this is our work that God has given our heart to do. And let me tell you, until the day I close my eyes, I will do my work that God has told me to do. And that's a promise. I can't promise you too many things, but I can promise you that we will.
I got something, Joyce, to say, man. For the last month, a song that I produced, recorded, and then and engineered has been on the radio on rotation, bro.
Wait a minute.
It's been crazy. Like,
wait a minute.
Yeah,
did this Negro wait to the end of the episode? We got 5 minutes left to tell us one of those phenomenal wins.
Man.
Bro, one of the tracks that you created and produced is on the radio getting plays. So people out there in the world who don't know, that equates to what? A check. He's doing what he loves to do, right? He's taking his passion and is now profiting from his passion because he's done the work, and he just started.
My G, it's love. Like that feeling that you get, like, you know that this is what you did, and you hear it on the radio, you getting calls, people tagging you on Facebook, like, yo, we hear it, like, we here now, like, it's insane, man.
Bro. And let me tell you something. I want to celebrate you, King. You deserve it.
Appreciate
like I've met you now. I always say I've known you for as long as I've been in Florida, and it's almost coming to a 10-year mark. And you deserve it. You worked your behind off. You haven't quit. If anything, you have been probably one of the most consistent people in my life in their own lane, right? So you're inspirational to anyone else, but to me, if I be honest, like, I can't speak for anyone else, but you're definitely inspiration to me because you didn't give up. You kept going and you continue to keep going. So I appreciate you. I celebrate you, King. Great job, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
For sure. Love you too, King, for sure. Listen, y'all, we have had one of those episodes that was, I call it one for the books. Thank you so much once again, everybody who tuned in with us. And my last words for you guys is this week. Stop playing with your future, right? Stop playing with your future by sitting here playing with your present, right? The only difference between today and tomorrow is your consciousness, between you leaving here and your consciousness called sleep and you coming back in the morning. That's the only difference. If you didn't go to bed tonight, the day wouldn't stop.
That's a fact.
So the only difference between today and tomorrow is what you do in between. So stop playing with your future and get to work today. Whatever that may be. If that's personal development, get to work. If that's learning how to value yourself and learn how to pick up a craft, learn something new, to get something new, do that. But let me tell you, start now. Because your future you is depending on present you to do it and to get it done. So with that being said, Kings, that
it's now or never.
I can't wait till we get the soundboard because I'm gonna drop a bomb. You do that again. Don't worry about it. We'll have the soundboard plugged in a few weeks. Don't worry about it. But listen, guys, I appreciate you all for being with us, and we about to get up out of here because I definitely got to go spend time with the wife and enjoy the rest of my evening. But guys, guess what? You know our energy, you know our vibe. To the fathers out there, sad to say, you are just a dad to the world. That's all you are. But to your family, you are the world. Don't you forget that, and don't you let that go over your head. But guess what? Until the next time we see you, be good to yourself and the ones around you. But if you can't be good to the ones around you, that's okay. Just get those folk from around you. Yo, guys, I am RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and this has been the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Y'all be blessed. Peace, y'all.
Deuce.